At the beginning of this year, I showcased the Kingdom Hearts 2 overhaul project that seeks to remake the entirety of Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days within Kingdom Hearts 2, going by the name of 358 over 2 Days Final Mix, created by Shinobi. An ambitious project for sure, as this is the type of thing we wanted from 1.5 HD Remix. This is completely separate to Days Melon Mix, that is more so of a remaster of that original version of Days running on DS via a modified emulator. This right here is literally remaking Days within the Kingdom Hearts 2 engine, with additional assets imported into the game from the DS version of Days, assets from Kingdom Hearts 2 as it's essentially a Kingdom Hearts 2 mod, along with assets from other Kingdom Hearts games. It provides us a what-if scenario, showing us Days as if it was remade for PlayStation 2, and also got a Final Mix counterpart edition with additional content. Now this project's been in development since October of last year, so we're close approaching about 1 year's worth of development. Shinobi recently revealed version 0.03 alpha, and has kindly provided me a playable build of this version to showcase to you guys. Right now, this project is still quite some distance away from being completed, as it does again seek to do the entirety of Days plus more, and we'll talk about exactly what that more entails later. This version also has a lot of bugs and issues. Again, this is an alpha version, and everything is still very much a work in progress. But right now, this build is playable all the way up to day 50. So everything that you do in Days from the beginning of the game up to day 50 is here, it's remade, and it's honestly breathtaking. Also taking into account that this is Shinobi's very first mod. He has received some assistance from other well-known modders within the Kingdom Hearts mod community, but this is very much a project that is being undertaken by just one person. Shinobi has provided me with a ton of information to do with the entire scope of this project and what it's going to include. We're going to talk about all of that. First things first, let's just talk about the experience of playing this and what I encountered and my thoughts so far. So the game flows the exact same way that Days does. You begin in the organization lounge room, you can talk to the different organization members, you then speak to Sayax to take on a mission. You can see that the lounge room map is here. It's been imported from Days. There's a lot of different assets that have been imported from Days, and you can notice that this is obviously coming from a DS Kingdom Hearts game, as the quality of these maps and the models that you'll see throughout this mod are lower quality than the PS2 assets that have been used from Kingdom Hearts 2. That being said though, it is impressive how well they stand up in a higher definition environment compared to what we're seeing on DS. Because while Twilight Town makes up the bulk of this build, and obviously it's using the Kingdom Hearts 2 version of Twilight Town, we do have Agrabah right at the end of this build, and this is quite literally that version of Agrabah from Days on the DS, completely working here in Kingdom Hearts 2 with full-on map collision, proper room transitions, enemy spawns. The exact same enemy spawns that would be in Days has been replicated here for literally all of the maps in this mod. The beginning of the game revolves around tutorial segments where you're paired up with an organization member who will teach you different things about how to play the game and the organization's goals. They've all been remade here with new tutorial graphics showing you how to play the game. The missions where you have an organization member accompanying you as a party member is working the same way here with the AI, so that they will literally attack Heartless that spawn throughout the map as you're exploring. The unique Heartless that appear in Days are here as well, like Scarlet Tango, the Deserters, Yellow Oprah as it wasn't originally in Kingdom Hearts 2, the Dark Side, again as it wasn't originally in Kingdom Hearts 2, and others like Possessor, Poison Plant, or the Guardian. These have either been recolored and coded to have new moves that are completely custom to that of Kingdom Hearts 2, or the models just straight imported from Days. But all of those unique enemies from Days will be here in the mod. For this build, a few of them are bugged and they still do need work, but it's impressive to see this nonetheless. The RTC system is a big part of Days. We obviously, as an organization member, use a corridor of darkness to get to and from worlds. This is Days' version of a save point, but this has been expanded upon here in the mod, and I think the idea of this is just so cool. Now there's an actual system designed behind RTC. So when you finish up a mission, you'll return to the corridor of darkness to return to the castle, but now you actually have to make your way through the Realm of Darkness in order to get back to the castle. This is part of that Final Mix content that's going to be added into the game. You find yourself in a space of complete darkness where endless amounts of Heartless will spawn, and the longer that you stay in the Realm of Darkness, more and more stronger Heartless will begin to spawn. After hanging around here for a while, I eventually came across a Dark Thorn Heartless, in fact, 2 of them. This is such a cool idea because canonically, it's not like the organization members just walk through a portal and they're already at their destination. They literally do have to walk actual corridors of darkness that go through the Realm of Darkness itself to link to the destination they're trying to get to. And we see this exact thing in Kingdom Hearts Dark Road. This is why the organization wear the coats, because these coats are designed to protect them from the darkness, allowing them to travel through these corridors of darkness to get to where they're going to. What's even cooler about this system though is there's a whole exploration side intertwined into it. Sure, you could walk forward into the portal that will then send you back to the world that never was to continue the game to keep taking on missions, or you could turn around and oh, there's another portal. This portal will literally send you into the Realm of Darkness, the maps that we see in the secret episode from Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep Final Mix. I also found myself wandering around in the Dark Margin, so those familiar Realm of Darkness areas that we've seen in previous Kingdom Hearts games is going to be a part of this Realm of Darkness exploration. Shinobi's explained to me that outside of missions, this will be the system you use to be able to explore worlds. So you'll have to traverse through the Realm of Darkness to eventually come to another portal that will send you into another world to then be able to free roam there. And these worlds are going to include a wide array of worlds that are already in Days, along with worlds from Kingdom Hearts 2 and worlds from other older Kingdom Hearts games that are connected via the Realm of Darkness. There's even going to be a boss system that's going to be attached to the Realm of Darkness as well that will include anti-versions of the organization members. Of course, we know that in Days, we end up fighting an anti-Syax within the organization castle, so he wants to expand upon that idea of anti-organization members and make these strong boss fights that you can randomly come across within the Realm of Darkness. Apparently, this system is going to be dynamic as well, and what you can come across within the Realm of Darkness will change depending on whereabouts you're up to within the game's story. It's also here in the Realm of Darkness that you'll select what mission you go on. We know that at a certain point in Days, you have a choice over what mission you want to take on. The mission selection system is also here in this mod. You'll select what mission you want to embark on and then use the Corridor of Darkness to access it. Now, the character progression of Days is via the panel system, and that's something that isn't going to be able to be replicated here within the limitations of Kingdom Hearts 2. So obviously, it's going to use the exact same systems that KH2 uses, the equipable abilities via AP. But something that is really cool here is we do have the Moogle shop, and at this Moogle shop, we'll spend heart points, which is this game's money that we'll acquire while we're out on missions. We can use these points to then buy different items. Again, same as you would in regular Days. Here you can buy abilities, keyblades, and accessories and armor. The accessories, though, do come with additional abilities attached to them, similar to sort of how Kingdom Hearts 3 works with its gear. So it's taking a unique spin on the already existing Kingdom Hearts 2 system. We should talk about cutscenes because these are important and Days has a lot of them. So the HD Remix cutscenes are here in the game and play where they're supposed to, but we do know that the HD Remix version of Days doesn't include literally every single situation that happens in the Nintendo DS version. So for where there isn't an HD remade cutscene, we instead have a recording of the text-based cutscenes that play throughout the game. Now, these text-based cutscenes are apparently going to be remade within Kingdom Hearts 2. For the time being, these recordings are simply just placeholder. Shinobi has provided me with a bunch of bullet points towards the goals of this total recreation. So this is them. Every world, every map, every mission, every tutorial screen, every enemy spawn, every player and party spawn, every chest spawn, every boss, every playable character, every weapon and their unique combat animations. So the way that combos worked in Days was depending on what Keyblade blade you have equipped, it would change the way that Roxas performs his combo. That entire system is apparently going to be implemented here. Every cutscene, every special effect, every soundtrack not already present in Kingdom Hearts 1 or 2, every journal entry, every gameplay mechanic, although there may be a few that may need to be slightly different depending upon KH2's limitations. Every menu, multiplayer even. Shinobi has mentioned that local multiplayer is something that is definitely possible, though looking towards online, maybe not, but it is something that they will look into. Maybe using something like Parsec might make this possible. And every piece of content that can be found in the Nintendo DS version of Days and possibly be remade in Kingdom Hearts 2. As we said at the beginning, incredibly ambitious, and due to this long list of things that needs to be worked on, this is something that will take an incredibly long time, especially because this is only being made by one person. But you have to admit, from everything that we're seeing right here in version 0.03, it's impressive just how much progress has been made already. Let's talk about those final mix features though, because going beyond just the scope of what's already present within the Nintendo DS version, as I mentioned, there is going to be some additional content here, and we've already talked about the Realm of Darkness system, a part of RTC, but what about the other stuff? First is the new story segment, Oblivion Archives, which is going to retell the entire story of Chain of Memories from the organization's perspective. This will be accessed from the organization computer room, which this map actually exists in the version that I played. You can see it right here, looking super cool. Again, it's just really cool to see new custom areas within Kingdom Hearts 2. It's going to feature the maps that are already existing within Chain of Memories, so you'll be able to explore some of those, but within Kingdom Hearts 2, so that's really cool. Obviously using the Kingdom Hearts 2 combat system rather than combat system. It'll also use some of those cutscene only maps that appeared within Chain of Memories as playable spaces, so including Castle Oblivion, the Crossroads, meeting rooms, as well as card worlds. New boss fights against Sora, Donald, Goofy, Riku, and Mickey. So again, this is from the organization's perspective. Obviously, they fought these characters, so we'll be taking on these characters. And even a playable fight between Axel and Marluxia, which obviously previously was only a cutscene. You will be playing as other organization members, and the reason why Shinobi wanted to do this was to be able to flesh the other organization members' movesets out more so than what we saw with them being playable within mission mode in the Nintendo DS version. He wanted to be able to play as these characters in a story-related scenario, and not just within mission mode. The other big one here is Data Days, which is going to be a continuation of the story beyond once you've cleared the main story of the game. Shinobi has described this as being a remixed version of the first 7 days in Twilight Town from the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 2, directly following 358. This will feature Haina, Pence, and Olette as party members, and occasionally allow you to switch to them as playable characters instead of them just being NPCs. Instead of fighting only Cypher on the first day, you'll now fight 4v3 against Cypher, Fu, and Rai. Will feature more playable characters such as Data Diz for a new battle against Axel. Data Diz will also be a boss for Roxas to defeat prior to waking Sora. Will feature hardened versions of the struggle opponents and nobodies which Roxas encounters during these days, including a hardened Axel fight which will push dual-wield Roxas to his limits. Destiny Islands is also going to be added as a world. Shinobi wants this to be a fully traversable, explorable, and platformable world, filling that gap of when Roxas is in his deep sleep for the numerous amount of days. There'll be a mission where you play as Xion and collect the seashells, rather than it just happening via a cutscene. There's going to be some new maps that will be attached to the organization's castle, like all of the bedrooms of the organization members that are uniquely themed after each organization member, as well as a hallway that connects each of these bedrooms. There'll be new joke weapons. Of course, Shinobi's already explains that the joke weapons will be here in this remade version, but there's going to be some new ones, as well as some new keyblades from other Kingdom Hearts games like KH1 and KH2. So the sheer scope of this project is monumental. It is huge, and especially for one person to be doing this, I think it will be quite some time before we see the completion. If you're just taking everything from Days, that in itself would take a long time. But the fact that Shinobi wants to add so many additional things onto this to truly make it a final mix version is taking an already pretty difficult task and making it even more difficult. However, I absolutely admire how ambitious Shinobi is, and from what we're already seeing here, it is just super impressive. And I'll be honest, at the start of this year when I first covered this mod, learning a bit about what the overhaul is trying to aim for, I thought, okay, this is probably going to be something that will unfortunately just not continue just due to how much work is involved in doing this. But just hearing how passionate Shinobi is towards making this a reality and the fact that we're coming up to a year's worth of work and development, I truly do think that we will see the end point of this mod. If you want to support Shinobi, be sure to check out their channel. They've also got a Patreon link that is going to directly help support the development of this project. That'll also give you access to any alpha builds of the game that release over time. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and a big thank you to Shinobi for supplying me with so much information towards this, along with, of course, the playable build of the current version. I'll be keeping a close eye on this project, as it truly is one of the most ambitious Kingdom Hearts mod projects overall towards any of the Kingdom Hearts games. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, guys, to keep up with everything that's going on here. Helps me out a lot. Check out my other social media platforms, links in the description down below. Thank you so much to my wonderful patrons. I hope all of you guys are having a fantastic day, and we'll talk real soon.